to the place of religion.
Good morning. It's a beautiful, exciting Tuesday morning on the bumper breakfast. We're excited to have you here this morning. Of course, we're still looking at the Ramadan fast. We're still looking at Nigeria. Like somebody did whisper before we went on air that we may end up doing something with Nigeria that I cannot mention on national television. But whatever it is, I think every Nigerian needs to benefit from whatever Nigeria becomes. And so we almost put hands on deck to make sure that the country changes for the better. My name is Tomisi Oluwatomisi Adebukola, and I have our dearest Yinka Kenny joining me today on the Bumper Breakfast. Good morning.
Good morning. Good to be here once again. Good to be
Did I tell you I love your hair?
Thank you.
When you came in this morning, I had to look at it and I'm like, oh, this is really fine.
Thank you.
Good morning, good to have you back here.
Yeah. You know, at times when you have something new, you find it difficult to, quickly, adapt into it. This morning I was just looking at it, yesterday I was a bit skeptical.
Then today you look at it. We are telling you it's fine now.
Let me just, Shebi is more my added money. I used to buy it.
It's your added money you used to buy it, so obviously.
So I got to use it.
All right. Of course, we have a guest in the studio this morning. Today, we'll talk politics. We look at the stories that broke out. And I have Olayinka Oladaniels. There is a Yinka Kenny here. There is a Olayinka here. Olayinka Oladaniels, a constitutional lawyer and a social activist. The man who has refused to declare, and we're telling him to declare. Back in the studio with us this morning. Good morning. How are you doing?
Good morning, Tomisi. I'm fine, thank you. Good morning, viewers.
Good
morning, Madam Yinka.
He has refused to toast me, but I will continue to crush him.
Can we just declare?
Very soon, we are working hard.
Okay, who are the we are we? You saw what I wrote there? We want to declare. I don't know. I've been asking.
One person will not be doing this work.
I've been asking.
So that's the we.
Who are the we? We want to declare.
Okay. Please let us declare so that we can know where we are going. Yeah. Because we need some of the we's to
we want to declare.
Yeah.
Is that not what everybody has been doing? But anyway, let's take a look at the stories in the papers this morning. Okay. Yesterday, the Northern Elders Forum endorsed two people for their North consensus candidates. But PDP ex-governors and aspirants reject consensus candidate Obi Ngige Mai Anyim rally ethnic nationalities for Southeast presidential bid. Igbo leaders deny Wike Amechi. Rivers governor donates 200 million naira in Kaduna. Wike donates 200 million naira in Kaduna. All right, sir.
I've given more before. When he was still Tambo's friend. Remember that? Yeah. When there was a time, the other time they're trying to push in Tambo and all the when he went to Sokoto, then he donated 500 million. That was after the he donated.
Okay, hold on, please. I need. Should I break the table?
Please go ahead.
Can we look at Wikipedia and tell us the history of Wike? I want to know how rich he was, his net worth before he became governor.
Even if he's rich, let me put it that way. You are a governor.
Yes.
And as a public servant, you have to be careful how you do some things. And if you follow Ashiwaju so far in his donation, you see 50 million like that. Okay, some people say, okay, maybe it's rich. You are a governor, even if you are rich. And before you became governor, what was your asset? What was what do you have? So dishing out money. Well, I hope that when this whole thing is over and when another administration comes in and we have another president not in his place, then he may have
Serious.
to account for a lot, because dishing out money, if you remember, when he dished out that money, the 500 million, the people of Rivers came out in mass and they were crying. Gratuity you didn't pay, pensions you did not pay,
And yet,
and you're dishing out so much money. From which cover? Is it your personal money or the government or the money the money of the people of Rivers State?
because even if you are someone who has a whole lot of money, I think 500 million is a whole lot, half a billion.
Yeah, that's half a billion. Now, this time now to Kaduna, 200 million. 200 million, where is the money coming from? Whose money is this money? For what purposes? For your presidential bid? I don't understand why some of our leaders, the so-called public officers, are just careless in their ways of doing things.
Anyway, he's been said to be worth about 225 billion naira.
Okay.
And he made the money apparently from being a politician and being a lawyer. He has investments in oil and gas as well as real estate all over Nigeria. He's one of the 10 richest governors in Nigeria. Okay, I'm just going to stay with him.
You see, it's not a problem for me. No one says that he may not be a rich guy, but
500
hold on.
million.
By the time
All of this is over.
whole movie is
But I'm going to watch the next season.
In the next season, by the time it's done, then you have to prove how that money came to be. Whether it's money, if it's his money, then he needs to show us how he made his money. Once you can clear that, why not? If it's your money, you can spend your money anyhow you want it.
But do you not think? Okay, maybe not.
No breaking of tables. Okay. All of his body buried according to tradition, says Your High Chief. My romance with Oba Deyemi by his ex-wife that made made loads of noise on social media yesterday on Instagram. Olori Supergirl, you had Insta blog, everybody talking about this Olori that
In fact, the condition I gave for marrying a second wife, that if the second wife will come from a late Oba, that means if an Oba has Oloris and he dies, then I can choose to marry
one of them.
You have
that's
the only condition. I have a second wife.
But now
I have.
You have options.
I have options. So I'll be paying a visit to Barra.
You people should watch out. You guys everything.
Oh my God!
A policeman case.
They believe the so-called should I call it a myth or a belief or a practice now or whatever? I don't know how to qualify it, that you don't marry the ex-wife of the king. Now we're not talking about the ex-wife.
The living king.
No, that's what I'm talking about. We're not talking about the ex-wife. Now we're talking about
his widow.
So what is but I think the people blah and blah and blah. Yesterday I read somewhere that one of the kingmakers was saying that they have to go through some
traditional rites,
cleansing, blah and blah.
No, but that's not.
And don't forget also that what we know as to burial of such kings, I mean the others, they have their traditions and all that. And don't forget what happened this time. The Muslims said they are burying him.
They conducted their service.
The service, the Muslims' rights and all that, which some of them were of the opinion that is strange, because the kind of Oba is not just, we all know that these are historians, these are, these are custodians, of history. So these are kings that, when you talk about kings, you don't joke with such, not just third or second. So now, at that time, and if for them to consider going that means things are changing. Okay, we're using the Muslim right.
But they did both. What it did was he allowed. My director has the video from Saturday, from Saturday's news. There was a service
Yeah.
The Islamic rites were performed on his body,
Yeah.
wrapped up and then put in a small box.
Yes.
And then after the Islamic rites, his body was handed over back to the traditional council.
Oh,
So
really?
yeah,
I thought
it wasn't buried.
No,
They
what I
performed
read,
the Islamic rites, and then it was handed over back. So that's why it's in the news today. He was buried
Because
according to
I
tradition.
understand that
Not,
the Shango,
yeah,
whatever
everybody has to do their own rites.
Yeah, they said no, that
They
have
can't
to
bury
do their
him.
part.
Even if he's a Christian Oba, you're going to do your rites, conduct your service, and then you hand his body back.
And going back to the
community.
women, what is also said about the women, the wives, the widows, that they have to conduct some
Cleansing and all
cleanses
that.
and all
But
that.
that's normal.
Well, according to that tradition.
According to tradition.
Like for me, I don't come into when religious or people's beliefs. So if that's their belief, why not? They should go out.
Except they choose not to move on. My grandmother was a wife of a king, and she married somebody else after.
But it would be very unfair for some of them are young.
Yeah.
So you can say, and probably not even, okay, I remember the last one, does the last one have a child now? The current,
one of them
the
is
latest
nursing a baby. I wouldn't know.
There is
if
the
last
newest one is
the newest
nursing a baby.
is nursing a baby.
Yeah.
Because if they are young and you're saying that they can't, I mean, even the Bible says after death, death do auspice. So after death, you are free to go ahead, whether they conduct their whatever.
Yeah.
Like I said, me, I'm coming. If I marry the second wife, nothing will happen. So it's the beliefs of different people.
So you're going to break it.
So I think they should just let them. Maybe the older ones among them may decide to, stay back. But we all know our traditions. If we have to go that route, they have to do what they have to do.
Yeah.
You are marrying before you marry a king.
You already know
You know what is involved. And if you are marrying a man of 83 years and you are 20 something, you should know that whatever happens,
Obviously.
so you just have to, you need to, because I'm sure when the king was marrying them, I'm sure they went through some
rights
rituals
as well.
or some rights and all
as
that.
well.
So you should be able to just follow that. No wala, no noise, quietly.
All right. You have more stories. APC begins sale of farms in Abuja and states. 3 directors fired. Page 3 of the Nation newspaper tells us about that story. Let's take a look at this other one, the Punch newspaper.
Yeah, Punch newspaper, politics. Electoral Act, Amechi Indige. Others risk disqualification over failure to resign. We will disqualify them at screening if they fail to resign. That's coming from the party chieftain. And APC submits register to INEC ahead of deadline. Commences sale of forms today. Ruling party awaits court judgment on controversial section. Fails to refund aspirants. Ooh, really? The more talked about refund. We talked about it here after the convention. So up until now, no refund has been made. Do you see that?
When it comes to money, money can easily come in. To go out is always the problem. Well, I hope that they will get their refund, and I hope that they will pay. But one thing about refund is not easily.
It doesn't come.
It doesn't come easily like that. Now, going back to
disqualification.
Disqualification. I think one is the right move. If they want to avoid what happened, the Rivers Zamfara, the saga.
Yeah.
If they want to avoid it, I think the best way is to at the screening point. No, voila, you can stay there. You may not. You don't have to resign. It's your choice. It's a choice. You may stay there, but
and you're talking about political appointees now.
Because what these people are saying now, there's a problem. Because section 8412, what he emphasized, he talked about political appointments to maybe the president. That's all those essays.
For example, the Attorney General has declared he's contesting for governorship position.
If you look at it now, those essays to this and blah blah, all of them are resigning. And to take different. But now, what the Ingigates, the Amechis, are relying on and what they are claiming is, look, yes, I'm a minister. I am not a political appointee. I am a public servant. That is what they are telling us. Now, yes, meaning that we then have to go to court for court to interpret
what
that
political
section,
appointee
because already, don't forget that the Court of Appeal had jettisoned the Federal High Court's judgment on saying, oh no, go back to Constitution, delete Section 8412.
No.
Of course, that one is no longer. That's the reason why some of them have to, and that's the reason why the political party is saying, look,
if you don't resign,
if you want to come in, then you have to resign. Because at the screening now, they have to screen them out so that they don't cause them what happened in Rivers.
End up winning the election and then they take them away.
That's what will happen, because you win election and tomorrow the other party will go to court and they say you did not follow due process, you didn't resign at the time you're supposed to resign, and this is the provision of the law, and you will get to that point. And what happened? The court takes you out and they bring in and you remember what happened in Zafara, you remember what happened in Rivers, even so they bring in another person. So we don't want to go through this route, and that is the reason why the party is saying, look, we abide by the laws. This is the provision of the laws. Now you are not in a position to interpret the law.
The law, you're not.
The appropriate quarters, which is the court,
interpretation.
so right now is either you do this, is either they interpret now
and get it right.
And get it right before our screening. So if you cannot achieve that, and if the court will not interpret that, and the law is not known to what you are telling us, because you know all of them is about me, myself, and I. They want to, you can see some of them. You can even see some of them buying two forms, two different forms.
Buying
I lose
governorship,
president, I'll do go to
Senate.
Senate, and so like, that is the crop of politicians we have in this part of the world, this country. Yeah, it's sad, and that is why you see these people, and the truth is they are only risking their ambition. They are the one that have ambition. They are the one that want to become president.
But let me now ask the question here. You said these are the crop of politicians we have in this country. This has been the tradition, because I can remember Okorocha in those days wanted to do second bid as a governor, and they wanted to contest for presidency as well. He bought both. So it's been the norm.
That's what I'm saying. That's why I said this is a crop of politicians.
Do you think it is greed that propels them to do that, or do you think it is a true desire to serve?
No value, no ideology. It's not any desire to serve. It's the desire to serve your pocket, yourself, and yourself alone. Nobody cares about the people. Nobody is a patriot here. Nobody cares about the country. It's about me, myself, and I. That is why they will do anything to get that power. It's about power, and power. And it's about all the peripheral, all the what do I call it now?
Monuments of office that will come.
All those things that come with all those things that
and maybe the power.
I am. Yes, power. So they just want to be relevant, whether they have ideas or not, whether they have. They should go with our ancestors or not. The own is, I want to be in charge. I want to take it whether you benefit or not, because I don't see any reason why you can make up your mind, because it is only someone that does not have an ideology that will say, okay, if I don't get presidency, I will get Senate. If I don't get Senate, I will get governorship. It doesn't make sense to me as a person. Take one. What do you want to do? How do you want to contribute?
Where do you particularly want to serve?
Understand? So you must decide where you want to serve and what you are bringing to the table. And that is why we are saying, because all these politicians, they have nothing to bring to the table. And how will they bring anything to the table? For instance, APC is selling funds for 3070 for presidential. That is 100 million. And somebody did some calculations the other time, and he said that for 4 years of presidency, your salary is about 54 there about something million.
No, that's not possible, because President Muhammad Buhari's salary is a 30 million naira per month. So in 4 months, you actually get your money back.
No. You are talking about all those allowance and all 30 those million, 30 million,
30 million, 30 million.
What I'm saying, the 30 million, that is not the salary.
You are talking about the basic salary.
Yeah, I'm talking about basic salary. You are giving us all the things together. You're talking about all the everything that they need to put to the salary, the allowance, the wardrobe, this, that. That's, you're putting all that together. But basic salary, For that 4 years, it's about 50 something million. So now, if I am coming to then invest 100 million for a 54 million, how do you see that? Check the arithmetic. It doesn't make sense as far as I'm concerned, but they would do anything to bring the money because they know what they are coming to do.
Of course, all of that is,
Same way with all these people bringing. That is why the party doesn't care. Well, for us, this is what we can. When somebody raised the issue, how come PDP is doing 40 million and you are doing 100 million? They said, well, they don't know how PDP want to do it, but for us, we need money to carry out this tax. We need money to do this, to run this election. So how do we get the money? And know that it's by selling our forms. The people that can afford it, they will come and buy the form, and we use this form to run our elections. And
that is why at the end of the day, we do not even get the right candidates. And talk about our voters apathy. Why we will not have voters apathy when you look at the candidates and you just look at it and who do I really want? Who can I entrust my vote?
That's why you don't see people with merit coming to, because an average person that can deliver may not be able to boast of 50 million naira. Except friends will come together
and
to say, okay, we want to sponsor
this person.
You remember what happened in 2014, 2015 when
people bought
the president said he said he didn't have the money.
Yeah.
That he couldn't afford it. Well, people came, and how much was it? Was 27 million thereabout, and we are talking about 2002 and
22, where we're paying
2022, and we are talking about 100 million.
So you see, the interesting part is, according to Wikipedia, the Nigerian president actually earns 30 million naira annually.
Annually, okay.
So that's about 2 years.
That's the basic salary.
Basic salary.
So that means in 4 years he earns 120 million, and he has used 100 of the 120 to buy the form.
To buy just the form.
So the emolument of office and all of that is. Are you saying that is just okay?
Anyway. Okay, above the nameplate, we're still on the Punch newspaper.
And that's why they don't want us to declare, because I don't have 100 million.
Don't worry,
I don't even have 50 million.
Just declare, we will rally around you.
Okay, we'll get the money from...
We will break internet and...
See, we will do, what's that? Crowdfunding.
Okay.
Well, don't worry. We'll
and they will lock all your accounts, and they will make sure that they freeze all your accounts, because they know this one that is coming, no way for you.
1,000 naira per person.
I just pray we get there someday. In this country, it's really sad what our reality is. As much as we might want to deny it, it's our reality. It's just unfortunate, but
very true.
We will keep open, and we will stop talking, and believe that someday we will get there. All right, above the nameplate, we have presidency. Group D first as Ohaneze Adebanjo won Jonathan. A lot of people are saying, Mr. Ex-President, please look for some. Don't answer these people. They are just pushing you and pushing you and pushing.
I sent
what would you say about that?
I sent a message to him, to his private account, and I said, sorry, Mr. President, my advice is just stay back, just ignore, just be an elder statesman, contribute your quota from wherever you are.
And I think it's contributing more.
Coming to say you want to contest again, you will lose everything you've had. 10 of Jonathan's cannot fix this country as we speak.
Exactly.
It has even gone far, far, far beyond what he knew when he was there.
And when he was there was money?
There was gone far. Yes,
the foreign reserves were
I had issues with him through. Well, truth be told,
but now,
during his term, I had, but what we have today, far worse. So there's nothing he can fit. So better for him, stay back. Whatever you want to contribute to this nation,
contribute from
you have your nation. Okay, Mr. Former President Baba Obasanjo, he's still talking. He's still contributing his quota. He can't say he wants to come and contest as president. So I would just advise, as elder statesman, just stay back in Otweke there or Abuja, wherever you want to stay, and contribute to your part to the. But on this presidency, I mean, we have over 200 people in this country.
200 million.
So 200 million in this country is a slap on us if we can get a hand
get it right
that can fix us. And going back to peak I mean, a former president.
Maybe what we want to do
The
is
thing
to
is, the
go
one
the
that can-
Malaysian
why are we like
way.
this?
We may want to go the Malaysian way.
Anyway,
We'll run back to their former president to bring him back
Talking
to faith.
about Reverend Kuka now, blame military, not Kuka, for Tukano's delay. That's coming from the Northern Elders Forum this morning, okay? Now, manufacturers borrow 1.03 trillion naira from banks, debts eats 4.2 trillion naira. In fact, honestly, I don't want to be reading this debt thing, because you just be hearing debt, and the team will just be giving you headache. That who are the debtors and who are the ones spending, who are the borrowers and who are the spenders. It's just unfortunate. Talking about Alafin, contenders begin application submission after 8 days, and we also have Nigeria's there's a micro and small medium enterprises dropped by 2 million in 4 years. Unfortunate. That's a report coming from the Small and Medium Enterprise Development Agency of Nigeria. Well, we have the small businesses folding up. I don't know. But it's I don't know where we are going to. An economic recovery. World Bank plans a $170 billion lifeline for Nigeria and others. Okay, please arrest 9 suspected kidnappers in Ogun State. Urge intending Muslim pilgrims storm Lagos Assembly protest fare hike. Kyari, I saw this in the news yesterday. Drug baron with 103 bank accounts nabbed at Lagos airport, and the news is saying that the drug deal is being traced to this same Kyari.
Super Cup. I think apparently what happened was out of that they got like 200 packs, and from that 200 packs, which cost about some 3 billion thereabouts. I may not be accurate, and what then happened?
It's 3 billion. I think I read something.
What then happened? Then out of the 200, they were able to present 20, so 180 disappeared. And that was what was linked to Abakari, and that was what Abakari did. As 180 disappeared, and that was the cost of the 3 billion. So now, a serving cup, a celebrated one, to some of the things you were doing. So this clearly shows that some of the people you nabbed, we may have to revisit
those cases,
because we may have to find out whether
something went wrong,
or whether some of these people did not dance
to your tune.
Maybe that's the reason why they
didn't compromise or something, or because we really need to check this out. Because this is now becoming, I mean, every day you get new revelations. I mean, we
honestly, when I read it yesterday, I had to read it over and over and over again, and honestly, it pains my heart to say that now, at this stage that we find ourselves, who can we really say we can trust? Who can we really say, okay, this person is, at least we can find one person that is worthy in this country. It's so sad, our reality.
Well, the man in question, the drug baron, is a renowned one.
Yeah.
He's been traced for a long time.
Yeah.
And apparently the warehouse where he kept, his staff was actually picked up at the MM2 here in Lagos. Which led to them watching out for him. 2 weeks ago, he was supposed to be en route MM2 to Abuja. He was picked up here.
Yeah.
The case happened right here in Lagos.
Please, do you have his name? Can you read out his name? If his name is...
It was actually, no, it wasn't made public.
It was what? The name
made
is
public. It was in news I read last night as well.
As this morning, his name is out. And the name is like 3 names in one.
Okay,
so really?
It's
the national drug.
Okay, you found Afam Ukatu. Is Afam Ukatu. Ukatu chairman is the chairman of Malin's group of companies.
This paper didn't carry all the names. Yeah, I said like 3 names in one.
Wow.
Yeah.
Chief Afam Ukatu.
Oh no, that's
so now.
Okay, go on.
So the 3 million deal apparently had a warehouse that was busted by Kiari and his boys when they were in Ikeja. The entire team busted the warehouse, got the goods of about 3 billion naira, which was the actual issue. Now, a box each, the staff was caught with just about a couple of boxes, but apparently a box each costs 15 million. But in the black market, it's sold for 18 million naira. So you see the difference. So they have been, it's tramadol. Grammages of tramadol.
Sorry, I
it's
think
not acceptable
I don't know.
in Nigeria.
I think that part we need to correct it. The 3 billion we are talking about, it was not for the entire goods.
No, it's just what
The
was
200.
linked. Yes.
Okay.
What is linked to Abba Kyari's team is a 3 billion naira deal.
Yeah.
Because apparently it looks as if they busted the warehouse and goods worth about, was what was
the
there.
National Drug Law Enforcement Agency has arrested Chief Alpha Mukatu, who is described as the billionaire drug baron behind the 3 billion naira tramadol deal involving a suspended deputy commissioner of police and former. So it's the case. All right, let's take a look at this one. The Guardian newspaper comes with North plots to retain power. Afenifere Pandef. Others allege. You have Obi. Same story. I don't want to look at that. NIMC server glitches, invalidates linked needs, leaves subscribers stranded. Yesterday it was in the news that Serap had taken the federal government, the Minister of Communications, to court, asking them to unblock the SIM cards of Nigerians who can no longer do outgoing calls, only incoming. That is in court. What do you think? What's the position of the law about such an order? Is it an instruction kind of thing? Isn't it supposed to be optional? Is it supposed to be compulsory?
That's why Serap is in court. You see, that is why we said that the system will run, and because we have a lot of people that are wearing agbada on their khakis. Yes, they don't know anything
style.
about democracy. Yes, the Abacha style. Don't let me even use the Abacha style because that's another one entirely. But we have people that have told us that they are not Abacha. That they are not behaving like Abacha, but they are worse than Abacha. Yeah, so they have their agbada on their khakis. Because what some of us said, you want to link, and I'm like, this is a place where basic amenities are not in place, where internet fluctuates, where their server comes down every time people want to register or people
where
want
people
to link
even have
one
to
thing.
queue.
In fact, this is a place where during the COVID that people were observing social distances was when they were threatening Nigerians to go register that they were going to block their lines and getting crowd to still come together. This is a system. We have said that this should be a long-run system where you make sure, just let them know you have to register. It should be a continuous thing.
Registration.
It should be a continuous thing. Like there are some advanced countries where they have their social numbers and all that. There's nothing you can do. If they want, they will trace you to anywhere because of that particular number.
Exactly.
But this is a place, a system where your network, they have all your biometrics, all your data. The name, you have done that. You go for driver license, you would do biometrics, you would do all that.
All of them.
Everything you are doing, all of it. In fact, there was a time I was so upset with a particular network, and I told them that if they call me again, I will break the SIM and I will go for another one. I don't mind going to register afresh with another one. Why? Because I have gone there 3 times to register, to update, and yet
it wasn't done.
You kept calling me to come and I'm like, what a system. So now all these things the other time people, when Nigerian, cried out to say, how come you told us to register, you told us to link this, to link that, and these are happening, and you cannot even trace these numbers? What did our Mr. Minister say? That's the Bantami. What did he say? He said, yes, they have everything, but the people did not come to them. That means whether the police didn't come to them, whether the whatever didn't come to them for information. This is the system that is putting that are just, they are very happy as making people suffer for nothing, for no reason. Should be a continuous thing. Should be, yes, we have wonderful people also as citizens in this country.
We're wonderful as a people.
Wonderful people where there's this ill attitude. I don't care attitude. They don't, nothing concerned, as long as they can eat or something. They don't care what is happening around them, and they don't see any reason why they should do some things. Yes, no, we are not disputing that. You can have some, even in your house, you will have that black sheep. So we know we will have people like that. But now, blocking a phone number of over 70 million or whatever, not considering the economic impact, so many things. There are a lot of people that are doing. Okay, now the other time when they block and they say where go, they went there. All the networks, the systems were down. They were not working, and people are losing. We are losing money every day, and some people are sitting somewhere. I'm sure those people making those directives, giving those directives, doing all those things. If you check properly, some of them, they even link those lines. Some of them even use their aides, whatever, to fix those things for them. But because they are high and powerful,
they don't need to go. As a matter of fact, they don't need to use their aides.
I think for
most people will bring
syrup,
the system to
them. I think for syrup, for me, they're on the right course. Because somebody must speak, somebody must challenge, somebody. So some people don't just think that yes, they are the one in charge, so they decide whatever they can they want to do, and they don't care. The feelings of Nigeria, they don't care if there is law or not. They just get whatever you want to do. There must be a due process. But because the question is there any law that have made provision that okay, if this happened, you have right to block people's line. You have right to do this. We have not seen it, and that is why they have gone to court to say, no, you need to follow due process. You need to tell us whether there's, what are you relying on? Why are you doing this? What law gave you power to block my line or to block whatever? So all this thing we need to check back and forth.
So
everyone
in
is
the name
involved,
of making life
easy for us.
They actually make it more cumbersome. We need to go on the segment this morning. I want to say thank you to Yola and Carla Daniels.
Thank you
for joining us again this Tuesday morning. We look forward to having you again next week, by which time we would have started the crowdfunding. Can you please let us know? We would have started the crowdfunding thing, so you can as well join.
Yeah.
Good to have you on the show this
And I hope they won't freeze your account when they find out.
We're going to take a break. When we come back, our next guest is right here in the studio, and we're talking about nudity. We'll be back.
Let me be the one for you. Let me be the one for you. The man that take you there. Let me be the one for you. Let me be the one for you. I can't you if I me, my dear, forever. Let me be the one for. Let me be the one for. Let me be the one for. I will never let you go down with terrorize the name of my bed. Let me be the one for. Let me be the one. I wanna be the one. Baby, to the end of time. Oh. To the end of time, oh, to the end of time, oh, to the end of time, oh, let me be the one for you, 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 the man that takes you there. Let me be the one for you. Let me be the one for you. I'm in love with you.
Welcome back to the Bumper Breakfast. We have Patricia Okosodo, who is the founder of Golden Empowerment. Abby?
Yeah, Golden Empowerment Foundation.
I know, Golden Empowerment Foundation, and she's been doing quite a lot for widows, for children, especially out of school children and children on the streets for quite a while now. Young woman, she's a politician as well. She's a sister. Yeah, she's a politician. Don't mind her. She's a young politician, member of the Not Too Young to Run, Nigeria, and Ready to Lead Africa. Yes, I needed to pick that off my head. Thank you so much, Patricia, for joining us this morning on the Bumper Breakfast. And you know, it's a ladies' show, this segment, because we're going to be talking about the dangers of partial nudity. Yeah. Why did we come up with the idea of nudity? I was driving yesterday, somewhere around, where was it? Ikeja. Under bridge Ikeja, and I saw this young lady in a very small, she's as tall as I am, and she was in a very small leather skirt with a hoodie kind of, very big hoodie kind of blouse, and then she was walking past, and I mean very small leather skirt in that very hot, crazy sun. From the outline of what I could see behind her the moment she walked past the car, and I was looking at her back, I could see that the only thing underneath that thing was her underwear. And when I mean underwear, I mean just the panties. So you can imagine. So I'm wondering, as she was walking down into the sea of people that throng Computer Village, I was just asking myself the question, did she leave her mother at home? Did her mother allow her to, there were questions. Because ideally, if you're going to a party, that would have been the appropriate outfit to wear to a club.
A club, yeah.
So I'm just wondering, I'm going to the market, and this is what I wear. Last week, Thursday, we were at one of the eateries, restaurants around the corner, the one we went to yesterday in Kakeni. And there was this lady wearing a dress shirt. And then, it wasn't as short as it looked, but she was bent over the counter this way, and we could almost see the outline of her bum bum. The outline of the bum bum. We could almost see. She was bent. You know when you're wearing a short thing and then you're leaning on something, there's a possibility it's going to squeeze when you do this. So people at the back, in fact, the person that was with me was a man. He was like, can you imagine this kind of person? But the guy was really angry. So when she stood up, it was like, this is too short. So when she stood up properly, he now saw, he said, the dress is not even as short as it looked, but that this is just a careless person.
Being conscious.
She wasn't conscious about it.
For me, I will start with You look beautiful this morning.
Thank
And
you.
you too, more.
Thank you.
Okay. For me, people have to start realizing that they need to go back to the drawing table and relearn and unlearn some things. What you think used to be fashionable, it's no more fashionable. That's the truth. You see, when people watch some movies, you want to be like Beyonce, you want to be like Kim Kardashian and the stuff, rest of them. The same Kim Kardashian that you're watching, she has gone back to study law. Let's leave that aside. But what I'm trying
No,
to
she
say,
now dresses well.
not dresses well. What I'm trying to say is that people need to know that during the movie scene, it's just a movie. On the TV set, sometimes they wear pants to, they walk out from their car and they're wearing something so short like a pants. And they walk as if they're going to do it. On a good day, you won't wear that to the office.
Good.
So bringing watching so much movie, coming to play it in your own life is where the problem is coming from right now.
So you're saying they depict what is happening in the entertainment world, which they perceive as the reality?
You see, during when I was growing up, there are certain things you cannot wear when you're leaving the house. Even as now, when I go visit my mom, I still wear, if I wear something short, it's like, hey, how about you? That dress is too short. Oh, that dress is too short. I'm like, okay, mom, I've heard. We still have checks. But now, children of this generation feel they can just do anything they want to do. So if you place a value on yourself, for me, it starts with self-value, self-worth. Because they always say the way you dress is the way you are dressed. Fine, some people don't believe it works, but it does. Like you're going out now, and before you leave your house, you should know that this is what I want to wear. Does it look good on me? Yes. Do I want people's attention on me? It's what you tell yourself. Like I look at myself in the mirror and I say, oh, does this dress look good? Oh, yes. But if there's a way the dress will look in my body, maybe if it's too tight or it's like this, and I'm not driving, I'm like, oh, if I'm walking now, my bum will be shaking all that. I'm conscious, right? Being conscious of this thing helps you to put a check on yourself before you leave the house. But if you don't have that, you don't even have a sense of check in your life, how will you place a value on yourself? So when you go out with any dress, you can just go to like on a good day. There was a day I went to ShopRite, and I saw one teenager was wearing like a breast, everything was out, and I'm like, she has a mom. I'm a mom. So there's a lot of parents start training their children from very tender age to wear nude clothes.
Nude clothing.
Yes. I saw a picture of a 2-year-old girl. After the whole picture, she was on her birthday. After the whole picture, the fine ones she was wearing. Then later I saw a bikini. And I'm like, why? So why? Why that? Because if you start training these children from this age, at the end of the day, they will grow up with it because they are young. And this is what they know. It's what parenting has a lot of work to do in this current generation. This generation right
And
now.
it looks as if parenting is also one of the biggest issues we're dealing with, because I cannot imagine Yinka Kenny's daughter stepping out of her house, with anything less of a full jean and a t-shirt at her age.
Yeah.
But then you see another mother, you're going to the supermarket, for example, with your daughter, you meet another mother with our own daughter, about the age of your daughter, or even younger. And then the girl is wearing a very tiny
skirt
with a midriff.
Yeah, exactly.
And the tummy is showing, the back of the thighs, all the way to the legs are showing. And the mother is wearing a boo-boo. That's the one. That's where I go crazy. Now the mother is covered up.
Yeah.
She's wearing a boo-boo. The son who came with them is wearing shorts, proper shorts, t-shirt, properly dressed. But then the daughters.
After the barn.
I'm asking the question, are you advertising something? Do you want a brothel in your house?
I think it has to do with parenting because education for me starts from home. Everything a child needs to learn starts from the home before they even go to school. So if you start bringing up your child at that age, and even when they go to the university or go to boarding school, they still go that way. They still dress that way. I'm not saying that people should not wear a short dress. You know, there's a way I dress. I feel if you cover up, you have a short dress, you know. What are the parts of the body do you want to advertise? Are you advertising something? That's what you should ask yourself. So for me, I want to appeal to parents to please start watching your younger children, because if you're above 18 years, I don't even want to say anything anymore because I feel 18 is adult, but we still need to talk. But from the age of 5, parents should start putting in a check on them. What do you buy for them to wear? Because their mental mind goes through what you teach them now and what they watch. They continue to watch, and you put on TV, like those days when we're growing up, there are certain things they don't allow us watch. But now you're watching Big Brother, your children are like, they know all of them. They know all of them. So, and with the social media right now, they can, and their phones are just there, they can go on their phones and start doing what they want to do. And you know, when nowadays parents put their children in boarding school a lot. So when they go to boarding school, we don't know what they do after that. We think they're in boarding school, they're in school, they're not in school. They even still go to party. Okay, so there are certain things we need to start with, like our foundation, we have a program we do every month for young girls. It's a build the girl child. What we teach them is know who you are. You're worthy. You don't need anybody to tell you you look beautiful. You are beautiful. Because when you start telling them that this is how they are beautiful, and if they have that courage inside of them, they don't need to even look, they don't need to dress inappropriately to attract anybody, because when they look at themselves in the mirror and they're like, I am beautiful, I am worthy, I'm valued, and they go out. If you tell them yours is extra, so this is what we make them understand, that anybody that comes to you and tell you you're beautiful, that one is extra. You're already beautiful.
You already knew that before.
So we need a mentor. Because we cannot keep doing things the same way and achieve the same result.
But then what do we do about the ones who are already doing it? Somebody was saying that as individuals, we need to get to a point where we're correcting people when we see them on the street. So, for example, you meet a woman, a full-grown woman, dressed in a certain inappropriate manner. How do you walk up to such a woman and say, don't? What do you say?
You don't say don't, please. You compliment her first. I think compliment first works. You look beautiful. But I think this skirt is too short. Like, in a soft way. We need to compliment first, because you don't know the mood that brought her. You don't know the mood she woke up with, and you don't even know what she's going through, maybe. Because when people are depressed, they find things to make them feel okay. Some go into sex on the street, some go to stealing, some go into drugs, drinking, some go into dressing the way they want. I don't care. This word, the word we use, because with little research I've done, is like, I don't care. The consequence, damn the consequence. So we appreciate you first, like, hey, you look beautiful, and tell you we need to do that. I've walked on the street and somebody say, I like your confidence. I was shocked. I was going for a program. I was very late, so I had to take a bike, and some of these guys stopped the bike, and I had to trek, walk a long way, and I was walking. I wanted to get angry, and one woman said, you look beautiful. I said, thank you. Another one said, I like your confidence. I started smiling. I said, okay, this is good. If I was dressed in an appropriate way, like maybe my skirts could not have to be dragging like this, they would be like, what's this one safe? All this mama that. But with that, I told myself, this is what you get by looking this way.
But then the question is, do boys now have, let me just say, do the thugs, because I've seen people get harassed for wearing something what they call rubbish. You go to the market, you're wearing a very funny skirt, you're wearing spaghetti strap or something, and then the boys start hitting the person, they start pushing the person, they start pushing them around, harassing them, all in the name of she's not properly dressed. They see them as readily available for harassment. Does that justify?
No, it shouldn't. No, that shouldn't justify anything, because we are all individual, and it's not your business to harass that person. It's either you tell the person, hey, don't even touch that person. It's not your business to touch that person, because the moment you touch that person, you're passing your boundary. You understand? You're not the person's owner, so you don't have business. Or you can do, as female, what we can do is just walk down to the person and say, hey, you look beautiful, but this dress I think is short, and walk past. You don't need a conversation. You just walk past. Say what you want to say and keep going. The way you speak to the person will really register. But a guy coming to meet that lady and say, she's available for whatever you want to do. Guys out there, they are mad.
You're not seeing the ones that will pull the skirts.
No, what I mean is that even when you're properly dressed, some guys will still harass you. When I mean really dressed,
you're covered,
and you're looking beautiful in your face, they will still harass you and molest you. So it's not the dressing that make them do that. It's just their mental mind, because they have mental disorder. That's why they behave the way they behave. So everything they see on skirts, everything they see, they want to look. Must you look at everything that pass? Do you get my point? It's an habit, because they are built on it. It has become an habit for them. That's why they keep distorting
and doing it.
So you don't. You have a sister too. You have a mom. You have.
Trust me, they pass their sisters to their friends.
Oh, of course. So we shouldn't. Yeah, for me, I feel that they don't have the right to harass any girl that's inappropriately dressed. They don't have the right.
We're still talking about the dangers of partial nudity, and the purpose is just to find out how we can get as many of these young women off the streets. The question is, every time people see you walking past with half dress, full, half chest, half whatever, the assumption is that you are
Available.
selling something.
Exactly.
That's the assumption.
That's the assumption.
You are selling something. So if you're a mother, I take Kenny here, and your child is dressed this way, please address the mothers.
Oh my God, I've just been listening. Well, for me, I would say that as a mother, if your child is dressed improperly, you have failed. Because with full confidence, I can go to sleep to know, not even to monitor my child on what she wants to wear. She's just 12. And even, at times I ask myself, I tell myself, excuse me, if I've not even gone to the extreme. Honestly. So as a mother, I feel that, you said 5, but I feel that for me, I started even while my daughter was a baby, because I formed the habit of the leggings, the ties, because I love the short, when they are babies, I love that short dresses, those short dresses, I love it. So I did so many of them for my daughter, but I made sure that she was putting on the long tights. So it's something that she's gotten used to. So even now, my daughter loves the very short dresses, but she will do the tight. She does that a lot. She will do the tight thing underneath. So as a mother, excuse me, I would say that first off, you have failed. Because if you cannot, because in today's mothers, we so busy, you might not be there 24/7 to know when your daughter is going to the market, she's going to the shop, she's going out to play with her friends and all of that. So you should start from yourself, but it's never too late. Yorubas will say, "Obane kubaje." You can always start. Your child remains your child, no matter what. You can and I want to also say that when we talk about all of this, we should not exclude the boys also in all of this. We should teach the boys also how to address the girls, the ladies, and all of that. So that we can have generally a better generation coming up. So I feel that strongly we should start from, even when they are babies, because naturally it becomes a part of you as a parent also. Because I, as a person, naturally I love to wear short dresses. So I had to be conscious of it.
The kind of
because
the length.
If you do it a bit with your children, they will do much more than you. So you have to instill the right values into the children, before they even begin to, build their psyches and all of that.
Thank you so much, Inka Kenny, and thank you so much, Patricia Kosodo, for being here with us this great morning. We'll take another break. When we come back, we're talking about real estate. We'll be back shortly. Welcome back to the Bumper Breakfast. I have Honorable Kamordin Olatunji Sani in the studio this morning. With us is a real estate expert. He's the Managing Director of Centurion Realty and Estates. Am I correct?
That's correct.
All right. Thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Thank you.
This is Yinka Kenny. My name is Tomisi. Let's just get into the conversation because the time is fast spent.
Yes.
But I really want to know, in the midst of all of the troubles and economic hardship, how come the real estate sector is thriving?
Part of the reason why real estate is thriving is real estate is the cornerstone of all economy. Once you are able to stabilize that, then you can have a solid economy moving forward. As a matter of fact, I can say that real estate has been part of the reason we've been able to stabilize the Nigerian economy.
How do you mean?
Because, the real estate market, in spite of all other economic downfall, is still pretty stable. Being that, if you look at hierarchy of needs, people have to have a place to stay. So it's always a constant demand for real estate. That's why it's been very stable.
Thriving.
So do you think that an average Nigerian has the economic power to, be empowered in this
kind of, economy?
No, I mean, the fact remains that it's still out of, touch for most average Nigerian because of costs. The cost has always been skyrocketing over the years, and we need to stabilize in terms of the cost of materials. The cost of materials get transferred to potential purchasers, and that's why you see that the prices are out of reach for an average Nigerian. Something needs to be done.
Okay, so let's bring it down to you now. How do you or your company intend to bridge the gap?
Well, we need to have a structure, so to say. Where I practice my real estate, I've been practicing for the past 27 years in the United States. There's a structure to everything, and that's what's lacking in the Nigerian market. We need to have a way of not just controlling the market, but actually people that wants to come into the business have to be licensed and have to pass certain criteria before they can actually go into it. So
Which
that way
comes to control.
Right, which I don't want to use the word control, but you just have a structure, just like anything else. Once you have a structure, then the expectation from that structure would be, you would know what to get from what you're
But,
getting
but
into.
Lagos State government has a structure. For example, they have the ministry. The ministries, they have physical planning and urban planning. They have lands. They have parastatals of government that are supposed to take care of some of this, nitty gritty about the construction, the built industry generally. Now,
Yes.
we've had several cases of renowned real estate companies owning structures where they cut corners.
Absolutely.
So is it that the structure is not working on the part of the government, or is it just that Nigerian business owners sometimes always find a way to cut corners?
Well, I can blame both the government aspect of it and the private sector of it.
Okay.
When I say the government aspect, when you have a structure, you also have to have some type of enforcement. In Nigeria, the enforcement is lacking because people are compromising. The people are being compromised. The people are looking the other ways where they need to focus on and making sure those private sectors are following the rules and regulation laid down by the government. So when you have people that are not following the laid down guidelines, then you're going to have problems. And that's where you see cases of where properties are collapsing. They're not using the right materials. They're cutting corners in terms of the amount of resources they need to go into. Because everybody wants to try to make profit, and that's going to affect the general public.
Well, then we're talking about buying. Sorry, Yinka Kenny. We're talking about buying here. What about the simple rents, paying of rents to your landlord? Can that be controlled by the government as well? Because landlords wake up in the morning, they say things are hard, gari has become more expensive, yam is more expensive, to buy pepper is more expensive. And they wake up, they put 50,000, they put 100,000 on top of their rent.
Absolutely.
And people are groaning, under the weight of the kind of humongous money they pay for rent. Here in the city of Lagos, for example, maybe in Abuja.
Well, there's a role that the government can play when it comes to that. They can have a subsidized rent for people that cannot afford it. Those areas that the government can play a role where they can make sure that rent does not exceed certain economic parameters. Because if people cannot afford to pay the rent, then we have a problem. You cannot just overnight increase rent. But I am not calling the government to have a restriction, because you have to understand this is a free economy. Whatever is obtainable in the market is what the landlord is going to try and get. But we should not allow consumers to be galvanized, to be taken advantage of. That's where the government comes into play, to make sure the rules and regulation are followed when it comes to increase of rent to protect the general public.
Yinka Kenny, we can go ahead now.
Okay, you haven't practiced real estate for 27 years overseas and coming to Nigeria with all of the way our system is. Do you think we can ever get it right?
We can get it right, but we have to start somewhere. The first place we need to start is by having a regulation in terms of who can practice real estate. In Nigeria right now, anybody can just stick a sign and say for rent or for sale. In the United States, whenever you are doing a transaction with anybody that is not your next of kin or is not your own property, you have to have a license. If we start with just licensing practitioners, people who buy and sell on behalf of others, then you can protect the general public. I think that's a good place to start.
We've been talking to Honorable Kamordin Olatunji Sani, who is a real estate expert, and the whisper is that he is also politician coming into politics in the next couple of months. But of course, when that begins, we will be talking about it. Thank you so much for still making it to the. I know you had quite an encounter this morning. But thank you for making it to the studio this morning. Yinka Kenny, how do you close?
Yes, I would say at this point we should all try as much as we can to be law abiding. I don't want to go into that. I want to say that when we started, try and be law abiding, because a change in the country starts from you and I. I'll see you some other time. My name is Yinka Ken.
All right, tomorrow bright and early again on the Bumper Breakfast. You'll be seeing me. And so remember, we're talking women matters, and you should not miss that. Have a beautiful day. Bye.